What's going on, my people? It is HG, and welcome to Ears to the Street, where fact and entertainment meet. And we back at y'all asses. You know what I'm saying? It's been a long time. We shouldn't have left you, but we definitely back in the building with none other than the water guy himself, Dr. Enqi. What's going on, Doc?
Burning hot in New York City.
Enqi was just telling me I got to get up on that Khaled. So obviously you've been listening to the Khaled. You know, go and tell the people about it. What's your views on it?
DJ Khaled with this album, and this might be disrespectful to a lot of people in the music world, or especially the DJs, but and he's an Arab. You know what I'm saying? So
true.
It makes this next statement a little crazier and more hard to swallow, but shout out to the Kid Capri's and the Ron G's, and the Khaled is officially a GOAT.
Oh yeah? Wow.
In order to qualify as a GOAT of anything, right? And you say a GOAT, it's almost like weird because GOAT is one, it's singular, but you have eras, you know what I'm saying? So you'll have a guy that's the greatest of all time based on his accomplishment, but then someone will come along and accomplish more and become the new greatest of all time. So you have multiple GOATs, you know what I'm saying? Like there was a time where people looked at Mike, and then there was Kobe, and it was like, whoa, Kobe is Mike on steroids. Kobe is the GOAT, and he passed Mike in scoring. So it's like, one ring short, but nah, Kobe is. But we see what LeBron doing, something totally different. We're like, oh. So you can have that type of scenario, like Sugar Ray Robinson. You know what I'm saying? Sugar Ray Robinson. People don't even put his name in the GOAT conversation in boxing. I'm like, you niggas are not boxing fans if you don't know Sugar Ray Robinson. Like those were the deadliest hands in boxing. Period.
I just ran across some video and he was doing like some sparring, and it was crazy. He was doing like some footwork or something.
Bro, deadliest hands in boxing.
Yeah.
He was accidentally killing people in the ring.
Oh, was he?
Yes.
He was checking them out.
Bro, that shit ain't even funny. It was niggas that died in the ring boxing him. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, hey.
And there was other niggas that he punched over and threw the ropes out into the audience, bro. Like that. Yeah. That shit was some other shit.
I think we so used to, watching boxing matches and don't realize like this is a full contact sport. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember one time I was watching a fight, and Roy Jones Jr. actually cracked the dude's ribs.
Bro, Roy, wait, Roy got some mean ass highlights. It's just the thing with Roy was he wasn't able to go for a long time, but in his time period, when his reign of terror,
yeah.
Roy Jones has highlights where he was hitting people in the body, and they were coming up off the ground an inch or two, like. Yeah. But
Jones had him levitating.
But here's the thing with Khaled. This album right here is this album is listed, and I'm one of the most harshest hip hop critics of all fucking time. But this album has to be listed with the greatest albums of all time.
Wow. I got to listen to it now. I like it.
Listen, greatest albums of all time. And it's not because remember, it's a DJ. That's what makes this shit so tricky. If you have a traditional conversation about best hip hop albums of all time, there's a lyricist attached, right? There's an Eminem album, there's a Jay-Z album, there's a Rakim album, there's an album attached to a singular individual, and you compare his lyrics on that album to other lyrics and other album stories, etc., etc. You can't do that here.
Right.
And this is the DJ.
Right.
And he's not rapping on it. So he didn't pull he's not trying to do like a DJ Quick or like a Kanye, or he's just making he's closer to the drama. He's in his DJ drama bag. He's just putting it, Man, actually, we gotta go all the way back to the guy that maybe have started a lot of this shit that's never gonna get credit. You know what I'm saying?
Who was that?
Not doo-wop, but doo-wop deserve credit. I think it's not Chill Will, but I want to say Ill Will. Damn, I can't remember. He used to make these mixtapes in New York. You know what I'm saying? Something the Fruit Flavor Man. That was like his tagline. Like a lot of shit was started early back then. Like DJ tags, all that shit came from them early mixtapes. But doo-wop, that whole era though, the Bounce Squad, like it was a lot of shit that happened in those early, and you had a lot of guys like Vlad that's responsible for destroying the early hip hop. Like people think about Vlad, they only think about Vlad and all his videos leading to jail sentences, etc., etc.
But he was a DJ though, right?
No.
Oh, he wasn't.
He was a European foreigner that came to America that was in college learning anti-black propaganda in his school. And once he was thoroughly inundated with the information about how feeble the black mind is, he came into the black community and he got all of the mixtapes. And then he started putting out people's material. Got a little buzz, but realized exclusive material was how he could make a name. So what he did then was start to market himself in a certain way by using demos and unreleased material from artists, and he released the material. So now he's getting the attention and he's able to build up a platform where a lot of the artists who shit he released, because he took the win from out of their sales, you'll never hear their name. They gone. They wasn't able to make a career or a platform, but he was off of their backs. You know what I'm saying? So
wow.
Vlad has never been anything to the hip hop community but a mole in position to make sure that the people creating the music never really get any traction to build off of. So he's there to monitor that. That's the new gatekeeper. That, like they say, the gatekeepers are gone. That's a lie that they telling over there on Math Hoffa platform. The gatekeepers are here in terms of platform. So if you look at Vlad, you see what Vlad did to a lot of folks. Now, right now, there's a new RICO thing that just happened in Atlanta with the, okay, but see, people, I'm looking at the videos as much as I can because I can't keep up with all that shit. I got babies and research to do. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, people send me shit. And, you know, I used to live in Atlanta, so I'm still plugged a different way down there. People, a lot of niggas forgetting that nobody knew who these niggas was.
Right.
Nobody knew who the drug rich niggas was. Nobody knew who they was. Until what? Until 4 or 5 months ago, they did a video on some platform called Miko or something like that. But they did the video and they tried to do the fake disclaimer, or maybe it's a real disclaimer, but it's looking fake because everybody's doing it. Oh, these are prop guns. This is not real guns. Right. I don't know how long you niggas think that you're gonna. Let me just give everybody a heads up. Let me do this. Let me give everybody a heads up in the world of lies and faking. Put more than 30 seconds into your lie. This is just on all levels. I tell my children that. I'm like, yo, if you're going to lie to me, put that shit together, bro. Like, don't come with the flimsy joint.
Yeah, make it make sense, huh?
Right. You cannot say all the guns in this video are prop guns, and then you have goofy niggas that points the gun and then does this.
Right.
When you do this, they're able to read the serial number on the gun, goofball, because everyone's using high definition fucking cameras now.
Oh, most definitely. Most
So
definitely.
with the high definition cameras, guys, you get to pick up details. All you gotta do is pause it, and you can read the serial number right off the fucking guns.
Hey, wait.
What's happening?
Say something, Ink.
Something, Ink.
All right, my bad. I accidentally hit the volume off. Go ahead. What you were saying after the serial number part.
Wait. So they didn't hear anything I was
saying?
saying?
They heard all that. They heard everything except right after you said they can see the serial number.
So well, I didn't say anything after that worthwhile. Basically, that was the point, is that when you're in these videos, see, we don't really understand. Like, we don't double check where ideas come from. We just keep moving. Mm-hmm. Anything that means money, we keep moving towards it. We don't really, we don't stop and think. You know what I'm saying? So for me, high definition cameras are awesome. The better the cameras get, the better it works out for me. But, if you guys are in the criminal world, you do know the more details that comes through on audio or video is probably going to be counterproductive.
Right.
So showing the guns on camera has already become addictive, and I don't know why, because Meek Mill got time for being in a picture on social media next to another nigga with a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Meek did not have gun. Meek was in picture next to another nigga with gun. Time. So how niggas are now just waving automatic insanity into the camera is a whole level of craziness. But then the pausing with the serial.
Right.
No, guys.
Yeah,
so
they
this video, and the video was fire when they did it. I mean, it showed that they was, they who they is, they moving, but that video now, because of Vlad, right? And this is where I'm going with this. Now that type of thing is a part of the culture. So Vlad no longer has to do that. Unsuspecting people are going to solicit those types of interviews to get their team on the map. And then on the flip side, interviewers, people with podcasts and platforms, they're going to conduct interviews Vlad style, because Vlad is the top of the food chain. So if they want to progress in that space, they're going to do the things that they see successful people in that space doing. And we don't realize that this is the plan. People don't, I don't understand, like, this whole generation is gone. They're going. They don't this. I keep saying that we're going extinct, and niggas don't get it. So the ones that are not in front of the gun getting shot, because now the babies is getting hit, and 3-year-olds and 2-year-olds. So the people not getting shot are going to prison. And let me tell you guys this: nobody cares if you get out at 50 or 60.
Right.
It's over. They done took your year. It's over. When you lock these men up at 18, 25, and they got a bazillion fucking years, even if they get out at 50 or 60, it's a wrap.
Yeah, it's it's unfortunate, man. I mean, so we gonna get into our thing, but I just wanted to ask you, with that being said, how do we remedy this? We got a whole bunch of youth out here running around with pipes. You know what I'm saying? Education.
Because the whole thing is, first of all, you still have to. First of all, we see the babies got in trouble because they started to listen to the dumb niggas instead of the OGs in the neighborhood. They going for flash in the pan instead of longevity, right? So instead of listening to the guy that maybe has the Toyota, he might have been in the neighborhood hustling, but he never had 3 or 4 Benzes out there.
Right.
His hustle just led him to, the Toyota, nice little. He fresh though. He got a little chain, little outfit. It's his ladies and his family cool. He made, at some point he transitioned to a little grocery store or maybe a little sanitation, little city working job, little, but he ain't got no murder. He ain't got no snitch. He just, he transits to a better life. He just doing his thing. The young niggas don't want to listen to that. They're listening to the guys with 18 felonies. That's coming home on their 27th felony.
Right.
and they're giving the young guys dummy missions to get status that's not real status, so that they could do a bunch of dumb shit that the nigga with 1,000 felonies can no longer do because he's got 1,000 felonies.
All right.
What you guys need to learn as young folks is that going to jail is not a rite of passage. Going to jail does not mean that you was doing your thing. Going to jail means that you were slow or stupid. No, that's a fact.
No, you know what? I always felt that way.
Nobody goes to jail on purpose. Only people that go to jail are the people that weren't
caught, so you fucked up.
The people that were not really good at what they were doing.
Yeah. I always felt that way. You know what I'm saying? I always felt that way.
You know what it is because the media is now in control of this thing. So once you create the idea that all drug dealers or illegal hustlers, go to jail or get killed, then you set a certain paradigm where the children have to accept that as their fate. I'm going to be killed. I'm going to go to jail. So when you accept that as your fate, I'm going to be killed. I'm going to go to jail. Everything's on deck. I might as well just live as wild as possible. Why would I have a gun that shoots one bullet out where I have to aim and learn how to hit the guy I'm angry with, when I could just get a gun that shoots everyone that's standing outside? Who the fuck cares? Because I'm going to go to jail or die anyway. So while I'm here, I might as well cause as much hell as possible. Like, you see what I'm saying? It sets a paradigm. Whereas the old school guys, and I'm not saying that this is right, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, education provides us with options that don't exist in the illegal world at all. But people need to understand that even in the illegal world, the intelligent niggas are at the bottom. I mean, the intelligent niggas are at the top and the dumb niggas are at the bottom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're going to step on you. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be used. You're going to wind up somewhere with 45 years while somebody else is sitting down in a nice car. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it's going to go. You know what I'm saying? So that's just not the play. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're in a situation, whatever, you stuck over there. But nah, that's not it. Like, you need to figure out how to do some other shit. Like, I was on the phone earlier and I was talking with young brother, genius brain. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the vegan botanica in the Bronx. But I'm talking to the brother and he mentioned Southern Boulevard. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a shopping strip in the Bronx.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, yo, if you used to shop on Southern Boulevard, you probably bought oils and incense from me or somebody that used to work from me. Because on Southern Boulevard in the Bronx, when I was 16, 17 years old, I had like 4 or 5 tables out there. Even adults was working for me at the time. You know what I'm saying? So anybody that was buying oils and incense on Southern Boulevard, chances are you got something from me, or, because again, 16, 17, you don't need to be crack, cocaine, pill, this, that, and other. You just need a brain. You know what I'm saying? To figure out there are other items that people need frequently that you can supply those. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't have to be standing right there with the crack. You could just figure out if you on the block, like, okay, cool. Yeah, we got it. The drugs, I know. But what else are niggas spending their money on right here? Like, why don't I get that? You know what I'm saying? The food, like, they hustling, they need to eat. You could sell the food right there. You could put some drinks right there. You could sell them stuff for their kids right there. You could get you some, you could do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And now you don't even got to be nowhere. You could be online with them same ideas, because the people that were buying oils and incense in the street, well, they're buying them online now. Like, so there's just so many ways that entrepreneurial spirit that is being led down the wrong path can be redirected into something that's You know what I'm saying? And
More
that's
productive.
what it is. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, man. So I hope the youth listening. I hope they listening, man, because it's heartbreaking. It's definitely heartbreaking. With me coming from Chicago, with you coming from the Bronx, you know, it's just the same old, and it's sickening, man. And I'll be sitting here brainstorming, like, man, you know, what could be done. And
shout out to Marvo, shout out to the Wild Hunters out there. Shout out to
you said shout out to who was that first one?
Marvo.
Marvo from Harvey, you know Marvo?
Ask Marvo if he know Enqi. That's my family out there. Bro.
Yeah, Marvo, my nigga, bro. We got me and him got some music together.
Bro.
If we talking about the same person.
No, of course we talking about the same person.
Yeah, we gotta be.
Other Marvo in Chicago.
Yeah. You right about that. Yeah. That's my people's right there. I remember one time I used to work with a management company.
Listen,
we came to New York.
Yeah. I damn near lived with Marvo.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's what's up. Well,
that's what I'm saying about this online shit. See, that's a perfect example right there. Because Marvo is a guy that's, you know, he one of them guys. He out there.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why I try to tell people consciousness is not online. You're not conscious because you watch these online videos. Consciousness has to be what you do with what you learn from these online videos. How are you impacting people in the real world? You see what I'm saying? So when I go to these places, I really go to these places. You know what I'm saying? I really go to Chicago and fuck with Chicago niggas that's on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, hold on, Enq. I just had the shootout. Wait a minute. Call you back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it'd be hot, but it's just like in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Jesus wouldn't have been Jesus in the motherfucking suburbs. Where you going? You got to go where problems is at. When I moved to Detroit, everybody in Detroit was leaving Detroit. It was like, nigga, what are you doing coming to Detroit? It's fucked up. I said, duh. Where else would I be going with solutions to problems except towards problems? If you have solutions, you have to move towards problems. You can't run away from problems if you got solutions.
Exactly.
So you gotta, and that's why I say people don't understand what this really is. You know what I'm saying? You got to put yourself in harm's way. You know what I'm saying? When you hit, I done did lectures where people then put out AK-47s at the lecture. And it's chaos, it break, you know, luckily nobody got hurt. Right? Nobody got hurt. And we finished the motherfucking lecture after the incident.
Right.
Because unfortunately, shit like that is a part of our community. Unfortunately. And if you scared of that kind of shit, how the fuck you gonna be a leader in our community? How you gonna really be a leader in our community if you scared to go up next? If you can't be in them places and people that are in those places don't know you a certain type of way, how you gonna really be a community leader? That's not real, because you can't even come amongst the community, nigga.
No, very true.
Niggas be passing themselves off as community activists and community leaders, and they walk around in the city with security. What are you doing with security? That shit always fucked me up, because I had, you know, people in consciousness that were friends or whatever at one time or another, right? We don't have to say any names, but it was multiple guys. And every time they come out to a lecture, these niggas got security. I'm like, hold on. That security is not for white folks. Let's just be clear.
True.
If the police pop up, they're going to tear them candy bar niggas up immediately. So these guys that you just putting in $3 t-shirts with $4, you know, fingerless gloves and shit like that. What is that? That's security for who? That's securing them against the community.
Exactly.
Well, what kind of shit are you doing in your community where you need to be secured from it? And if you need to be secured from the community, how the fuck are you going to be a community leader?
You make a good point. You know,
hey, listen, you know what it is though? When I say shit like this, niggas gonna say I'm hating. They gonna be like, nah, Enqi, you hate. I'm like, all right, whatever. You figure it out. But listen, this is just the world I live in. I live in a world where niggas get to come online and use fake names in P.O. boxes. Listen to this. Niggas use fake names in P.O. boxes, and these are the righteous.
P.O. boxes.
Fake names and P.O. boxes, and these are the niggas that are righteous. These niggas with fake names and P.O. boxes get to come online and critique me because I have gold teeth. And the people will follow them and say, oh yeah, he must have been scamming because, wait a minute. You mean the nigga with his real name and address on every package is scamming? Wait, not the niggas that are soliciting money with the fake names and fake addresses, and you don't know these niggas from a hole in the wall? You've been watching this nigga for 5 years. You don't know his real name or his address. You just sent the nigga hundreds of dollars. But the nigga who uses his real name, his children's real name, and his actual address. This is the type of world I live in. And I have to deal with this. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just having this conversation with you because we just kind of slipped into this topic. But this is the type of shit that I just refrain from discussing with niggas because in their mind, this is just, and so these are all the reasons that contribute to us living in Bizarro world or the Twilight Zone. This is some upside down backwards shit.
Yeah, we're gonna get them together though. We're gonna get these motherfuckers together though today. You know what I'm saying?
We're working with them slowly to get these dopamine levels and the serotonin and the neurochemistry shift. That's doubt. We need a neurochemical shift.
So I see you've been working relentlessly. You're on everyone's platform. The documentary dropped. I got it up on my platform. You've been dropping the lecture here and there. So
the lecture just come after the doc. So you got to drop the lecture this week sometime.
Oh, no doubt. So tell me, how exciting has it been just to be, putting your work out there, making your moves, the public, receiving it well. Just go and tell me about the whole
dream come true. Dream come true.
There we go.
Well, and I'm gonna tell you where the dream come true thing comes in. Young man hits me up and goes, yo, and this is in the mix of, now he has a different story, but the way the universe works, this is just how it goes. You know what I'm saying? So in his mind, because he done broke it down to me now that we in the space we in. But he's like, yo, I've been trying to get with you and get partnered up and woo. But for whatever reason, I wasn't seeing the messages. I wasn't, he was getting caught in the matrix. It wasn't coming to me. He was trying to hit me up because he showed me, but it just wasn't reaching. He was getting caught in the matrix. You know what I'm saying? And on the heels of American Healer, he come right through. He's like, yo, I've been trying to hit you up. I'm like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? You got me right now. I can't speak for the missed communications. Not miscommunication, but missed communications. But you got me now. And he's like, yo, I got a food store, I got a farm, we in the Bronx. We're trying to get this, bring what your information and stuff to the people.
Wow.
And so just to have a place in the Bronx to teach from, let alone be able to moss, etc. That's the dream come true for me. So that young man, he's making my dream come true to be able to service my specific community. You know what I'm saying? Because God put it on me. I got to do, I got to do His bidding all over the damn place. But you know what I'm saying?
All right.
The nigga from 158th Street that lives inside here still has that local pride. Like, nah, the Bronx, no. I get it everywhere, but nah, the Bronx.
So, let me ask you right quick. Is it South Bronx?
No, this is 200. The Vegan Botanica is at 453 West 238th Street in the Bronx.
Okay. Bet. So y'all make sure y'all go support. Hold it down for Enqi, hold it down for
and look, if you're in New York and you tired of me being late with the orders and the packages, now you can stop ordering from me in New York. Please, if you live in New York, just don't even go to my website no more. Now you have a location where you get yours instant delivery. You upon payment, you leave with. So that's the move. And eventually I'd like to have it like that in every city. You know what I'm saying? At least the main cities where, you know what I'm saying?
Don't you got some stuff in Detroit too?
Shout out in Detroit to the Pop Culture Vegan Cafe, of course.
Dope. So
but again,
it's
not the Bronx. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
LA, Texas, Atlanta, this, that, and the other. It's not the Bronx though. Now, I'll be honest. No city that I've ever been in, just to make sure this is clear for the record, no city that I've ever been in has rolled out the red carpet for me like Detroit. So I will forever love Detroit. I don't give a fuck if I get $1 trillion next month, nigga. I'm not from Detroit, but Detroit has I'm from Detroit. I'm about that Detroit shit. You know what I'm saying? So
that's what's up.
Yeah,
we come from Chicago, Detroit, our cousins. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely got love for Detroit.
Yo,
definitely.
I learned when I got here about Detroit being a bite out of the Big Apple, because I always thought, like a lot of people, and even people that live here, it's niggas that live here that don't know where the fuck they at. They was born and raised here in Michigan and don't know where they at, because a lot of people somehow, I don't even know how it happened, but people think that Detroit is Midwest.
So it's East?
Absolutely.
Man, I don't know if I can let you have that one right there. We gotta look at some longitude lines, latitude. You trying to take Detroit from the Midwest?
No, sir. You don't have to look at no longitude, latitude lines. You know what you got to look at?
What?
Your clock. It's over.
Oh, me being Eastern Standard Time?
It's over.
Oh man. In that case, come on. I mean, technically, if you want to do semantics, I guess you can get
no, ain't no semantics, because Detroit is next door neighbors to New York. That's why the nickname of Detroit is called a bite out of the Big Apple. So New York is the Big Apple and Detroit is a bite out of the Big Apple, because Detroit is next door neighbors to New York, but it make it feel far because we got the Great Lakes right there in between. Right. So you can't just drive over that border that's right there. Instead, you got to go all the way down and around through fucking Pennsylvania.
Right.
Bro, how many calls are you get? You got to put your shit on silent, not vibrate. That shit is crazy. Every second is. We all know that's your phone. I just got to say that so that they don't think it's mine. That is his phone.
Oh shit.
Yeah, put that shit on silent, sir.
You
listen to this, you're gonna hear that shit going off every 30 seconds. You might need to answer that right there.
Man, that ain't that shit was motherfucking notifications, man.
Oh yeah, we hating that shit.
Fucking notifications and stuff. So let me ask you this.
And it Chase made my shit worse because he got this other fucking app that's coming on my phone now. I don't know why he didn't put this shit on his phone. Disturbance. What is it called? Disturbance? Discordance?
Never heard of it. I don't know, bro.
Bro, them niggas, that should alert every 30 seconds.
I downloaded Bigo, and that's free advertising right now, but I downloaded Bigo. Bigo kind of decent on some promoting type stuff. It's kind of like your Clubhouse type thing, but fucking notifications like every 10 seconds they be coming.
What is Bigo? So what is that?
It's like a Clubhouse, but with visual. You know what I'm saying? Just a big chat room. Like it's crazy. Like when I be doing my stuff in there, I be having like about 200 people. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's definitely one of them spots you know.
Yeah, bring me over there.
Yeah. I'll send it to you so you can.
No, we got to do one of these over there.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt, no
Or
doubt.
you can't do it or like that over there. Is it no way that you can't like do interview videos or anything?
No, we pull up just like this, same thing.
Oh yeah, so we got to do one over there.
No doubt, no doubt. So let me ask you, what is your ideal working environment? You know, you've been healing people for years. You've been creating compounds.
That's a fantastic question.
Yeah, so what's your ideal working environment?
It depends on the hat I'm wearing.
Okay.
So, personal trainer hat. You know what I'm saying? I like to be outdoors. You know what I'm saying? I think the best exercising is done outside. I'm not a fan of the gyms. Actually, I am a fan of gyms, but in levels. You know what I'm saying? I understand that gym is very convenient for our society, and it's better to go to the gym than to go nowhere. So, but the ideal environment for exercise is always outdoors in the sun. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Even in the cold, the hot, whatever. Because people seem to think when it's cold outside, you don't get any sun. That is very incorrect. The sun still shines regardless. In the cold seasons, you don't get UVB, but you still get a lot of other things from that light that you need. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's, yeah, people is confusing UVB with the total spectrum of sunlight and all the things that the sun does for the body. That's not it.
Okay.
So, but yeah, you need to be out there as much as possible. So in that space there, in the healing space, the best place for someone to heal is in their own bedroom. The best place for someone to heal is in their bedroom. A hospital is not really good for healing. Hospital is not good for healing. First of all, they keep the temperature in the 60s.
Very, very cold.
The lights are for saving money, not saving lives. So the lights there are primarily blue light. The food there is not nutritious, and it's not your favorite. Because even if the food is poisonous, but it's your favorite poisonous food, it will still at least make you feel good and give your spirits a boost.
Right.
Right. You can't discard that because that's a part of your healing. You know what I'm saying? And some people would even argue the most important part. So at least you get but when you eat the hospital food, it's not nutritious and it tastes like ass. It's like a total bad experience. So you get nothing from that. In fact, it brings you down because it depresses you. You start thinking about you being like the number one thing you want from people when you're in the hospital is for them to bring you food. That's the number one thing that makes you feel at home is the food. You know what I'm saying? So you want the food. But yeah, so you got your stuff to eat. You got your comfort. You got your ability to play music. People don't really realize how important that is. Friends, family, unlimited visits. You don't have lonely nights. You know, being alone at night is very dangerous for your health. And all hospitals, no matter what you're in there for, you know what I'm saying? Well, I can't say no matter what, but 95% of the reasons you're in the hospital, they cutting your visits at like 8, 9 o'clock at night, and then you're alone all night with them doctors. And depending on what you're in there for, you might be drugged up. So you can't even monitor what they doing to you, giving to you, woo, woo, woo. And they say, oh, you can, because all you got to do is look what they wrote down. But that's not monitoring what they did to me. That's monitoring what they said they did to me. There's a difference.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's a difference.
Yeah.
Monitoring what they said they did to you. But what if you get somebody that don't know what they're doing? They fucking up. Let's not even get to a nefarious conspiracy place. Like, let's just say that you got somebody that doesn't know what it is they're doing. In the middle of the night, they gave you the wrong joint or they gave it to you at the wrong time. Guess what? They don't want to get fired and they don't give a fuck about you. So they're going to just lie to cover that up as best as possible. You having complications the doctors, the hospital don't understand because you done got the wrong shit in the middle of the night. They come with like, it's just, nah, bro. Just for comfort and safety. Like, you want your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, your son, your daughter, your mother, your father. You want somebody that you know and love, that know and love you, to be watching over you for 24 hours a fucking day, not to be dealing with strangers you don't know from a hole in the wall. They don't give a fuck about you. It's a cold room, physically cold, because it's in the 60s AC wise. And then it's also a cold room design wise, feng shui wise, because of how they design the rooms, the paint colors and shit like that. And then the way they do the visiting, this, like, the whole shit is just set up. It's not a warm, it's not a life preserving, giving. That's not what that's for.
Right.
But here's the thing. A lot of us don't understand that hospitals was never built for that. Hospitals wasn't built to save people. Hospitals are really big hospices. So I thought this, when I was starting my journey, I thought that a hospice was an extension of a hospital. Meaning, I thought the way it was designed, it was like hospital first, right? And then if you whatever, you know, you're gonna die and it's inevitable. Okay, then they started to build hospices. So I'm talking about the evolution of like how they came about. I'm thinking the hospital was first. Later, hospices developed as a way to get people that may be bad for the healing space. Okay, here's where we're gonna put the people that's dying and let them painkillers and maybe music or whatever to make their last days. I had it twisted, like maybe a lot of people do. You know what I'm saying? That's not the case. The hospice was first.
Okay.
And the hospice turned into the hospital. You see what I'm saying? And the hospice is a place where you die comfortably. So, a lot of that's just, pain meds and whoop, whoop, that kind of thing. So now it's a different space. It's for healing and surgery and medicine. But I'm saying that original foundation of that coldness is still there. So go ahead, my bad.
No, I want to ask you, what you just explained about the hospitals, how it's kind of set up. Basically you're saying it's not really a conducive place to heal at. So, why are we stuck in this situation? Is it a money thing? Is it a lack of education thing? Lack of education. Yeah. So it's just crazy because
not lack of education in the sense, because when you say education, usually we take education to mean like books and that kind of information. So I like to just say niggas are dumb. I think the lack of education is different than being dumb.
Right. Well,
dumb is like, see, naive is lack of education. You know what I'm saying? You get into right. Fools and babies kind of space over there. There's another name for you niggas that are exposed to the right shit 1,000 times and still choose to do the wrong thing. Like, I used to smoke when I was in high school. I used to smoke cigarettes, like chain smoke cigarettes, right? Before I smoked the very first cigarette, I knew not to smoke cigarettes.
Okay.
I mean, the very first cigarette.
Yeah. I think that pretty much goes for everybody with a cigarette.
Okay, hold on. So it's 2022. By the 1990s, I would say the late 80s. By the late 80s in America, how many, and I want you to give me a percentage. I want to answer for this. How many black people in America by the year 1990, you just give me your best estimate and we'll go from there. How many black people in 1990 were not, listen to what I'm saying, were not familiar with or exposed to the Nation of Islam?
You know what? Based off my experience, I would have to say more people were not exposed to them than they were.
I need a number.
I would say maybe 65%.
Never heard of Nation of Islam or Malcolm X or Elijah Muhammad?
I won't say never heard of, but
we talk about Malcolm X, right? Wait, hold on. Do you know that Malcolm X? Okay, so the Nation of Islam, and I know
now when you say Nation of Islam, when you say Malcolm X, that's kind of Malcolm X is
that's
it's the same thing. But
you take it back. And
go ahead.
This niggas don't like this history, especially niggas still in the Nation of Islam.
Okay.
The Nation of Islam would not be worth a fucking damn without Malcolm X. Elijah Muhammad and Farad Muhammad did not build the Nation of Islam. These are facts. These are unfortunate facts that people don't like and may have contributed to Malcolm not being here, but these are facts nonetheless. Malcolm X spread the word and the teachings of Elijah and Farad around from slum to slum. Again, remember what I said earlier. You can't be no community leader if you can't stand in that community. What hood, what neighborhood in the 20s? If you think the neighborhoods is hard now, this is before there was an Eminem. This is before there's a Vanilla Ice. There's no Eminem if there's no Vanilla Ice. See, we shitted on Vanilla Ice, but Vanilla Ice was dope.
I like Vanilla Ice.
Listen, I always took heat for Vanilla Ice. Niggas like, yo, you can't be from the Bronx and like Vanilla Ice. But you know what? Vanilla Ice changed a lot of shit because Pretty Boy rap started after that nigga. Rolling in my 5.0 with the rag top down so my hair can blow. Nigga, that sound like Mace lyrics.
Yeah. You got a point.
Yeah. Mace came with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's after the Vanilla Ice shit. You know what I'm saying? But you had to have those stages of acceptance. So you got Third Base comes, you got House of Pain, Vanilla Ice, lay the groundwork. Now we got somebody with serious bars that you gotta respect. But we would never have heard Eminem's bars and even gave him that ear if we didn't have the Third Base, the Vanilla Ice, the House of Pains, and all of those other groups that came before. So when you go back to the 20s, my nigga, there was no such thing as a white boy coming into the hood to tell you a motherfucking thing if he didn't have a gun in the badge. You could forget about that.
Right. I can dig that.
So there was no Farad Muhammad was going to be able to reach black folks. Like he might have been able to reach black folks, but he wasn't going to reach the niggas. Like he wasn't getting ready to be on 125th. He wasn't getting ready to be in the hundreds out there, and he wasn't getting ready to be on 8 Mile. Like he wasn't going to be in the places where we really at. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't going to be in, like for instance, Atlanta, right? He wasn't going to be in Fulton County. He would have been in Smyrna. You see what I'm saying? He'd have been in Alpharetta. You see what I'm saying? He would have been in Alpharetta, but he wouldn't have been in. You see what I'm trying to? It's a difference. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can't be a leader of black folks if you can't even stand on them blocks. How you gonna get your message across to them? Because we don't even hear your message till you tell us the 10th time. So how you gonna be in the neighborhood? You couldn't. Malcolm had to do that. Malcolm, and he couldn't have did it if he wasn't read from the streets of Chicago and Detroit and you know what I'm saying, went to prison, did all what he did because his street time gave him the credentials to come amongst the people. Now they like, oh, we know who he is, and we know he from where we from, and he speak our language.
Exactly.
So now when he come, it's a whole different type of energy because he like, nah, this ain't goofy, this ain't weird, this ain't square. That was the term they used back then. Like, nah, this ain't square. This is right and exact. This is what we need to get to that next level. You know what I'm saying? So of course, Elijah, you know, and Farad, the information part, but spreading it totally different. That was Malcolm. You know what I'm saying? So Malcolm is Nation of Islam, period. And that was the reason why all the fuckery happened with Malcolm, because there was a point where Malcolm was so big that the Nation of Islam was paled in comparison to Malcolm.
So you don't think it was just based off that you know what they say in the documentaries, or you know what we know as him speaking on JFK?
No, but that's the reason. Think about this. See, we take reality out of shit when we hear history and we don't add it into full spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
The Nation of Islam is thousands and thousands of people.
Right.
So even today, Farrakhan, like say for instance, Farrakhan make an announcement tomorrow morning. And he says, hey, everybody in the nation, we're going to take a step to the left. You think everybody just happily take a step to the left? No, some niggas is passionate about it. They like, Farrakhan's amazing. We got to step to the left. And some niggas like, nah, Farrakhan's fucking up. Why would he make us step to the left? Well, we should be stepping to the right. Elijah would have made us step to the right. Or Malcolm would have made. They don't agree. It's a human trait. You have the ability to not fucking agree with a thing. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when the shit was going on back then, there was plenty of people that agreed with Malcolm that was in the nation, that was out of the nation. They're like, nah, y'all are wrong on this one, Malcolm. But again, the size and the strength of the voice was the problem. Because your voice is not supposed to be as powerful than Elijah's. And that was the problem with Malcolm, is that if Elijah said, everybody stand up, the people would not stand up. They would look around to see like this.
What Malcolm doing, huh?
And if Malcolm stand up, then everybody stand up. And so Elijah like, fuck that. This nigga ain't gonna be running my program from the side, nigga. Nah. I need to show everybody that I'm in control of this. Malcolm, put it on mute. Now you don't put it on mute. This is mutiny. Because this is bigger than this situation. This ain't about this situation. This is about the order in our, because remember, they styled themselves as paramilitary type shit, through Islam. So everything is, private, sergeant, lieutenant, like it's not that, but that's how it's structured. High levels of respect and devotion, you know what I'm saying, and loyalty, you know what I'm saying. So, there's different.
Do you think structuring an organization like that is productive or counterproductive?
No, I think it's definitely productive.
Okay.
I think it's definitely super productive and required for progress. The problem is that you have to have checks and balances within that system. So the system wasn't problematic. It's just that system devoid of checks and balances becomes problematic, because now you have people getting positions of absolute power within that framework. And then you don't want to, then it becomes crazy, because now you have people competing for that power spot, and then you have people holding spots, like, so now then you got wars breaking out inside the framework because people are trying to move and have mobility and it's not there. So but like I said, that's why, even with the Nation of Islam, they still them, you know what I'm saying? They just need new leadership, and not Farrakhan. They just need new people around Farrakhan. They need new young people with young ideas.
Beautiful. I'm glad you said that, and I know that you.
I like Ben X. I'm be honest. I like Ben X. I don't really like a lot of Nation of Islam niggas. A lot of them niggas goofy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But Nuri Muhammad, I like Nuri, and I like Ben X. I like them too.
Nuri, is that the light skin cat?
A lot of them niggas light skinned in the Nation of Islam.
Well,
they got light skin thing going on over there.
Yeah. I like.
Listen, Farrakhan got some shit with him because he got some comments over the years about straight hair and dark skin and big noses. He says little things every so often. So it's. But again, Farrakhan's an old guy, so I don't like a lot of people. They'll listen to some of his comments, pull them out, highlight them, and then go in on Farrakhan. I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I respect what he's done overall. You know what I'm saying? And I understand the pressure of sitting in that seat. So sometimes you got to do things to maintain the whole that just go against the grain. But for longevity purposes, to make sure you still there with your doors open, is sometimes you just got to do shit that looks weird. So when you see him like kissing people or like doing certain shit or saying certain shit, I just kind of like, I go, you know what? Good thing he's strong enough to make those concessions so that he could keep the door open and keep the information alive. You know what I'm saying? Because if he didn't do those things, who knows if there would even still be a nation? You know what I'm saying? His organization could have been labeled terrorist years ago and shut the fuck down. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the changes that he made was probably like when people were like, oh, he's selling out. Look, he don't want them to talk bad about the Jews, or look what they doing to Khalid, or this, that. It might have been changes that he understood in advance that he had to make in order for them to stick around.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times you don't have the ideal options of, you know, living in a vacuum. You got to do what you got to do to get where you're going. So even when we started this show, and I'm like, you know, there's one thing to say to the young folks, hey, education, go get a fucking job, but that ain't realistic. So you got to even tell the hard head niggas like, yo, bro, even if you're going to be out there, you still need to be smart out there. Like even in that universe, the intelligent guy is the one. Jay-Z, let's just disrespect Jay-Z for the benefit of the community real quick. Okay. To Jay-Z and everybody attached to Jay-Z, I'm apologizing in advance, but we got to violate Hov a little bit, just a little bit. Right?
Go ahead.
Because Hov has made $1 billion, and Jay-Z is the example that a lot of street guys use, that it's possible to be in the street and then, you know, become Ghost from Power, even though Ghost from Power didn't fucking make it. But they use Jay-Z as the real life Ghost from Power, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at Jay-Z, Jay-Z doesn't have any stories of beating anyone's ass. Okay? Jay-Z is not a fucking tough guy. Jay-Z has never, you know, he's never presented himself in a certain way. You've never heard about Jay-Z doing anything to anybody. Now, shit happens next to Jay-Z. Listen, shit happens within arm's distance of Jay-Z, like literally. But Jay-Z himself is not knuckling niggas down. He's not doing none of that. But Jay-Z got the $1 billion. See? So when people sometimes use examples for motivation, they don't even properly use them. So Jay-Z's your example. Use Jay-Z as a whole example as your example. Don't take bits and pieces, because you're going to get a bit and pieces result. Same thing I tell folks with the herbs. If you want to follow one of my protocols for a situation, don't halfway do shit and don't mix my shit with nobody else's shit. If you think you need to add somebody else's herbs and shit into the protocol, my shit, don't do mines at all. Just do that other nigga joint. And if that don't work, then come see me and do mines alone.
Right.
But you can't properly assess the results that you're getting from a protocol if you don't follow it. And that's even with doctor shit. If you're going to do what the doctors tell you and take the doctor's medicine, don't do nothing else. Just fuck with that. Because once you start mixing his shit with some of Enqi shit, then you got some of few shit from KT and some shit from Jehudi Ma'at, and you done mixed all this shit up together. Who knows if my shit and Jehudi shit ain't canceling out? Or maybe our shit is canceling out with the medicine. So now the medicine and the herbs ain't working. They done neutralized each other. Like, you don't know what you're doing. You're panicking. You're just taking all kinds of shit. You don't understand that this is chemistry associated with this. You know what I'm saying? So
how has your your compounds, your business, your overall education with healing, how has it evolved over time?
Wow, that's a great question. Tell me if I blank out on my voice for anything, so I can stop immediately and go back, because you see I'm getting choppy. Do you see that?
Yeah. I seen
that. Shout out to Ben. Shout out to the PRX. When I choppy, you can still hear my voice though.
Yeah, I still hear your voice.
Okay, good. All right, so shout out to Ben. Shout out to that. Just means that somehow my plug is not working, because I got my hard Ethernet cord plugged in, but because of this mix up from the earlier, I had to plug it into a thing and plug that thing into another thing and plug that thing into my computer. So it's not. But shout out to Ben, shout out to Chick. These guys I knew from the Bronx from my childhood days, good close friends. And when I first started to get online, I seen them on 125th. They was like, bro, I see what you're doing, but if you're going to take it to a real space, you got to go get some type of paperwork. You got to go to school for something. And I was just like, no, I actually don't, because we're having amazing results healing people without that. In fact, if I do get some sort of paperwork, that might limit what I can do. You know what I'm saying? So, and I just learned that from like real estate business, because I actually had a real estate license. You know, I took the state test, you know, and whatever. And when I did it, I wanted to go in business with my brothers, Buki and Guy. Like we was going to do like a little family real estate shit or whatever. But I couldn't even fuck with them because I spent the money, buy these books, going to fucking real estate school, get the license and all that. And all the license did was basically put restrictions on my investments and shit. Like these niggas doing shit, and I'm like, oh, I'm licensed. I can't do that. Wait, I can't say that. I can't be a part of that. I can't even be down with you niggas doing that. I'm like, that fucked up the bag. So fast forward, when they start telling me about this, I'm thinking it might be somewhere similar. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really in the space of understanding that there's other, like you can be a personal trainer certified. You can be a nutritionist or sports nutritionist, even certified. You can be, you know, herbalist certified. I didn't know these things was like out there. And I was aware of naturopathic doctors, but I didn't really know what that meant. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that was just kind of where I left the conversation. It was a dead issue. Like, yeah, that's probably not gonna. But it stayed in the back of my mind because of who they were to me. You know what I'm saying? Like when you respect their opinion, you carry. You know. So years later, dealing with my children's mom and dealing with my children, you know, it kind of came up across a few times. You know what I'm saying? Like when you got children and you're trying to get your children to achieve in school, depending on the relationship you have with your children, you know, your life may become. So, but you didn't like, wait, whoa, that's not. And then pretty soon you're in hypocrite space. You're telling them to do shit you didn't do, and even if it's for their betterment, because they don't get like, hold on, it's not hypocrite space as a parent. I'm telling you to do the correct thing instead of make the mistake I made. So it's not the hypocrite thing. It's not that something that I wouldn't do. It's just something I didn't do because I didn't have somebody in this space. So, but children receive shit however they receive shit. So it doesn't always turn out the way you know what I'm saying? So sometimes you got to just bite the bullet. So at that point, that went all the way back in history to Ben and Chick. And I'm like, damn, these niggas told me I was going to need to get some. But this is not the reason. They think in business. Them niggas, they're like just true businessmen. So they always like, how do you get to the bag? So as far as they're concerned, you're not doing nothing serious unless you credential so you can get to the. But in my space, they still popped in my mind because here's a need. You know what I'm saying? The first real need anyway for me to have paperwork. Or certification, you know what I'm saying? Like most holistic healers, they don't have any certifications, you know what I'm saying, at all. Except for the fact that they may have studied or trained with another well-known healer, you know, mouth to ear. That's how that system works. It's a traditional system. It's mouth to ear. And in that universe, I'm very credentialed mouth to ear, you know what I'm saying? So like I didn't need the paperwork side of it, but that was the first thing that influenced me. You know what I'm saying? So my children kind of inspired me to start getting paperwork just so that I could have shit to show them. Like, no, let's go. Yeah. If I can get my paperwork, you know, now we're done with that but Dad, you didn't, because yes, I did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so that was cool. I got me a little, couple of personal trainers. Like I started taking every personal trainer class I could find. You know what I'm saying? Anywhere, NASM, this one, that one, whoever. You know what I'm saying? And then herbal classes wherever I could pick up, or any type of class anywhere that I would get a certificate from. So yoga shit, any health shit, I done went to the class. You know what I'm saying? I just started going crazy with classes. But the naturopathic doctor thing, that didn't come till way later when I moved to Detroit. When I moved to Detroit is when, and not even as for the purpose of that. When I moved to Detroit, I meet Dr. Brown. And people just push me to meet Dr. Brown because Dr. Brown was the man here. Dr. Brown and Dr. Kiefer. You know what I'm saying? May she rest in greatness. You know what I'm saying? But Dr. Kiefer was the Dr. Sabi or Dr. Enqi of Detroit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Her and Dr. Brown. You know what I'm saying? But Dr. Kiefer had the water shit, and so she had a little more. Dr. Brown was more clean with it. Dr. Kiefer was more like in the hood, but the two of them held Detroit down. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Brown still holding Detroit down. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Dr. Kiefer's students became mine. You know what I'm saying? I inherited Asa. I speak very proudly of Asa all the time. But I inherited Asa from Dr. Kiefer. You know what I'm saying? But she died. She died when I moved to the city. So on a spiritual level, like I inherited kind of some of that responsibility when I came here because I already had a certain type of, people already knew me on a certain level. Like even the guys that think that they're my contemporaries, they're not. You know what I'm saying? Because, for instance, like Baba Kalindi, right? Baba Kalindi is a world-renowned genius. May he rest in greatness. And this is somebody that literally on multiple occasions sat in my lectures to hear my lectures. I don't know him. I met him in my lecture. I started talking greasy about mushrooms, and he like, hold up, young man. Let me see you. I'm looking, I'm like, holy shit, is that? What the fuck is he doing in my audience? Yo, that's like Kyrie, where he realized that Kobe is watching. Like, are you watching me? You know what I'm saying? Like, or like the first time I got to speak to Dr. Gabriel Yibo. He was like, man, that lecture you did in Detroit was amazing. I watched it like 4 or 5 times. I'm like, what the fuck? These was world-renowned genius niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like, watching me. You know what I'm saying? And getting inspired. Like, oh, that shit was crazy. Enqi was on. Yo, you see this shit? This little nigga.
Right. Yeah, that's dope. That's dope.
So that's the level right there. You know what I'm saying? So, my head is, but these are the people that's introducing me. Like, oh no, if you hear, you need to know who's Baba Kalindi. You need to know who's Dr. Kiefer. You need to know who's Dr. Brown. In fact, since you already met Baba Kalindi and Dr. Kiefer's no longer here, you have to meet Dr. Brown. Like he's the guy here. You know what I'm saying? And he's the only black guy in America, black person in America, man or woman, to have a state licensed naturopathic school. So meeting the only black person in a fucking America to have a state licensed naturopathic school, that was like the big flashing sign going off above my head. Enroll now. Like, here's the time when you're supposed to go to his school. You know what I'm saying? So
dope. So,
and that's before we move from that.
Go ahead.
Yes. It wasn't until afterwards that I realized the benefit of having paperwork. Because there's doors that I've been able to walk in because of that other folks cannot.
Dope. So how do you balance you know, what you do with fatherhood? Say that again.
I don't.
What you mean by that you don't?
Yeah, I don't balance anything with fatherhood. Like that's
It's like,
the problem. That's the problem. People trying to balance their life with being a parent.
I get you now.
Yeah. Parent is first. Everything else has to just fit in spots. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's how I do it.
That's dope. That's dope.
Children, right? And then all throughout the empty spaces, wherever I can fit in something, that's where it is. You know what I'm saying? And then the thing is working with the children. You know what I'm saying? So as much of their free time as they have, you know what I'm saying? I have them working.
Right.
Period. You know what I'm saying? Like they got they shit they do for entertainment, whether it's video games or jujitsu or basketball team or dance club or all this shit. And then they got schoolwork. But outside of that, I'm not a fan of that idle mind shit. Like I'm not getting ready to let my children watch 7 hours of fucking, Cartoon Network every day. Like that's insane.
Right.
And so they work, get their little change, they buy their little outfits, their little toys, whatever they like, games, robots, or whatever. But they, and when you do that, you're teaching them entrepreneurship at an early age. You know what I'm saying? But you're also teaching them work habits. You're spending time with them, and you're able to basically bridge the gap between working and parenting. Because even if you create a work environment, even if they working and doing something different than you, y'all could work in the same space. So I might be doing research for this shit, and the children might be doing their homework. We all rocking in the same room. We Gucci. Because even though we're not working together, we got folks in first grade, and we in different. I'm over here but we still technically kind of doing the same thing. So we could take breaks and talk crazy to each other, or turn on a quick music video so everybody brain can rest real quick, re-sugar, recharge, then get back to the books. Like there's no reason to do things separately. That's not like a Eastern approach or an African approach. That's a Western approach. You know what I'm saying? The Eastern approach or the African approach is that family is your first corporation. In fact, you don't even think about hiring people in your company until after you've exhausted your family. And you still don't even hire nobody when you exhaust your family. You go to your friends now.
Right.
And until you exhaust all your family and friends, then you start hiring people. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, the obvious is accurate. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't hire somebody that doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, friend or family, but you search that because you're gonna always have somebody dumb that's gonna say, but so you're gonna hire an unqualified family member versus an overqualified stranger? No, dumbass. But I'm going to search within my family network for somebody that knows how to do this, or maybe even has aptitude to learn how to do this before a stranger. Sure. Because a family member is going to treat the business different. They're going to say, this is ours. Stranger is only going to be there until they can find their own thing. Then they're gone. And they may be gone with proprietary information from you and become your competitor. So no.
It's most definitely true.
We got to have those types of things in play. Like we got to figure that out. How to work nepotism, and where nepotism becomes, something that's dangerous versus something that we should be practicing. Like we got a lot of shit we need to do.
So let me ask you, let's get to some of the critics, if you want to call it that. We got people out here, some say, okay, you may be scamming people. Some people may say, oh, he hasn't healed anyone. Some people may say, you always refer to, oh,
some people may say I haven't healed anyone. I don't think anyone would say that. I don't think, no one said that, but people will say I'm scamming though. Keep going.
Okay. Well, let's just address the scamming thing. You know what I'm saying? So those people who would say that, let's say someone's watching this video, this is their first time seeing Dr. Enqi. He has, you know,
and they say I'm scamming, correct?
Not that they say he's scamming, but if
they would be saying it because they will be repeating something they heard somewhere else.
Right.
Look and be like, wait a minute, this guy's, he's a scam.
Right.
Well, the easiest thing to ask them is, what scam has he run on you? Right. When you ask that question, there is no answer,
Right.
They're gonna bring you back around to my hair, my teeth, or somebody I used to hang out with. They got to go there because otherwise there's no scam. Oh, I ordered something and he didn't. Okay, hold on. If you ordered something and you didn't get it, how did you pay for it? Because if you paid with PayPal, you could have hit refund and got your money back. Yeah. If you paid with a debit or credit card, you can simply call your debit or credit card and stop payment and get your money back.
And be honest, and let me just say this. Me in a situation that I had purchased something for you, it took a while to come, and I just reversed the payment. And then right after I reversed the payment, I went and ordered something else because I had ordered stuff before then and it came. So it's just one of those ones that got lost in the shuffle. You know, we got to understand that you're independent. You know, it's a process. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like Amazon. You know what I'm saying? And
no. It is like Amazon. I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah.
Amazon fucks up packages every day.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. In that regard, yeah.
But see, listen. The difference is that we have a disdain for ourselves. This is where the self-love and the self-hate comes in. We're going to hold ourselves to an unreasonable standard because we're looking to find reasons to not.
Oh, Enqi went out. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Run it up. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the share button. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Enqi tapped out. So until he come back, you know, make sure y'all soak up this information. It's been a beautiful dialogue. Yeah, Enqi having some technical issues. So yeah, you know, I'll just go on off, you know, my situation when I had bought something. Yeah, you know, that was the only package that I bought from Enqi that took a long time. It never came. I reversed the payment but it took a while. But that was the only package I ever got from that you know, took that long. Usually because I bought the Mama Atomics. The Mama Atomics came, you know, I would say within a month, you know, probably sooner. After that, I think my next purchase from him was I can't think. I know I bought the sea moss. I bought like a big bag of sea moss. Bought that. That came through, no problem. I had bought the detox. That was the one that I bought, and it took a while. Maybe like after the third month, then I just reversed the payment. You know what I'm saying? So and then I turned back around and ordered I think I ordered his Soul Craft book after that. You know what I'm saying? So when the packages don't come, and you know, he run his own business, so I'm not, you know what I'm saying, speaking on that. But just do what you would do normally with any package. You know what I'm saying? Reverse the payment, you know, send your email, say I didn't get my order, and you know, get your refund, you know, however you get it. You know what I'm saying? So you know, to the people in the chat. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is with that, man. But it looked like we wrapping up, man. You know what I'm saying? We've been on here a couple of hours. You know, it was a beautiful conversation, a beautiful dialogue. Me and Enqi will be back doing this every Friday from you know, between 8 and 9, 9 and 10, something like that. 7 and 8, 8 and 9, 9 and 10. So make sure y'all keep it tuned in. Man, we ending it like this, man. It's the God HG is to the street with Fact and Entertainment meet, and I'm out.